Well, when we interviewed Iman Shumpert, he told us something very interesting because he played with LeBron. And he was saying that the LeBron's superpower is actually his basketball IQ. He knows every person's stat on that court. And he was like saying there was this one game where like a reporter asked him a question and he broke down exactly what happened, every player doing every position, like to the point where you're just like, how does he even remember all this?
At a news conference after the game, and he ran the whole play down. I'm sure you saw that, right? And he ran the whole play. He passed the ball down, got the rebound, came down, threw it in the left corner. He broke the whole sequence down. I'm like,
and it's nothing to him. Like, it's scary because there's times that he be in the game, he'll be like, he don't mean to do it, but he'll be like JR, hand. Like, he'll just throw it to the hand, snatch it, palm it, and then he'll like be in a post up, and he'll be like, Shump, if he move, cut right behind him if he move. And he'll start his dribble. Tristan, cut, take him with you. And everything he's saying, you just watch it happen.
it happens.
And the moment that man flinch, I'll sprint behind it, catch, dunk.
Right. Like, he studies to the point. I think Kobe was very similar. Like, he really studied tape when everyone else was partying. Like, LeBron is just obsessive about that. Would you agree?
I would agree with that, but I want to open it up and make people understand that he's not the only one with that high of IQ. There may be a guy who even has a higher IQ, but what he doesn't have is that ability, or maybe not even that work ethic, whatever it may be. But he's not LeBron just because he doesn't have everything else that comes with being LeBron. That's a superpower in itself. But I've been in the locker room before where I've seen a guy study his ass off and know everything. Like you said, I could tell you where the plays are going. I got the tendencies. But get on that field, and he's sorry. He's sauce. Like, I just don't like this whole myth that if you're the most prepared, you're going to be the best. Or if your mind is so astute to your craft that no one else is on your level because of your success. LeBron is great because he's smart as hell. He knows the game. He's 6'8". He's 260. He can jump out the gym. He can shoot. Like, we forget all that and just want to go like he's from a higher place in terms of intelligence. I don't know how you test that acumen in basketball, but there are other dudes who are as smart, who don't have the microphone shoved in their face, who are as smart, who don't have that ability to translate it so that people can understand they know the game. So, you know, we always go, he first in, last out, hardest worker. There's a long line of dudes that's doing that, but there is not a long line of dudes who get those buckets. So I just want to make sure people understand the two difference.
Well, I actually looked it up just now. USA Today did a athlete of the decade list. So number one, they said, is LeBron James.
All right.
Number two is Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Number three is Tom Brady. Number four is Simone Biles. Number five is Usain Bolt. Floyd Mayweather is 22 on this list.
Likability. I told you, man. People love Floyd or they love to hate on Floyd. And look, I'm not going to dive into the details. When'd you perform? And, Floyd's better fights are of the last decade. He didn't win it last decade. So if he didn't win it then he can't win it this time. Like, when do you sit there and say Floyd's the best athlete? One, he can't even hide behind the team concept. And so for everyone who's in the team concept, think about it. If they're comparable, LeBron, Floyd, you can say, yeah, LeBron's won 3 titles and he's been in the finals 9 times. Like, okay, up here. Floyd is successfully went after belts, attained belts, defended his belt a dozen times, whatever, undefeated in his finals. But guess what? He didn't have nobody to pass to when he was tired. He didn't have somebody to hit the game-winning shot. Like, LeBron, and you talk about Ray Allen in that game-winning shot. Like, there's nobody to run to, nowhere to hide. And that's why whenever I say that they're comparable, you got to go individual sport. And if you don't give Floyd his due in this respect, that's fine, because you don't like him out the ring behavior. Go ahead. But then don't have the award saying it's about performance. say what it really is, citizenship, community service, whatever you want to call it. Then we can have that conversation.
Right, because Floyd is undefeated. He fought everybody.
Everybody.
He didn't duck anybody.
No.
And, I just interviewed Zab Judah a couple months ago, and we had this whole conversation about whether or not Zab Judah knocked him down in that one fight. Because his glove touched the mat.
Yeah.
And they said that he had just slipped, and Zab Judah's like, no, I knocked him down. But to just have a conversation over the one knockdown, which has an asterisk by it, whether it did or didn't happen, he's never been knocked out. He's never been, on paper knocked down. Second round, Floyd may or may not have gotten knocked down. His glove touched the ground, and the referee called it a slip. In retrospect, do you think it was a knockdown or not?
Shit, I ain't got to think. The whole world know. You know what I'm saying? In boxing, if your glove touches the ground, that is a knockdown.
I can see the argument for it, but then again, I see what you're saying. Floyd is flashy. He's Money Mayweather. He brags about his $1 million watch, and he has a lot of drama around him. Unlike a LeBron. LeBron is squeaky clean. Floyd had the worst week ever a few weeks ago, where his kid's mother died and his brother, his uncle died as well. His daughter stabbed NBA YoungBoy's baby mama last week. He has so much crazy shit around him. He beefs with 50 Cent. He can't read. There's a bunch of other stuff that I could see that just takes away from him having this perfect image like a LeBron or like a Jordan. You see what I'm saying? So I can see it.
I totally see it. And I want people to understand that when you win an award, that's based on voting and that consensus, it's not just how good you are or how great you are or what your numbers look like. They also want someone who represents their brand well. Because I've won some awards based on me having that good resume, having that good behavior off the field. Whether I get my jersey retired, whatever, you're a great representative of what we embody. And tell you the truth, I don't like awards like that. I'm like, look, if it's for the best football player, it should be the best football player. Yeah, but he just got locked up. Oh, well, that's the dude who needs it in his jail cell, whatever the hell. I put blinders on when it comes to on the field, on the court, and off the field, off the court, in that integration into what an award is, unless the award serves that. And I didn't think that Athlete of the Decade was necessarily serving that.
Well, speaking of the top football players ever, you actually posted your list of the top 4 football players ever on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Barry Sanders.
Come on.
Number 2 is Deion Sanders.
Come on again.
I think most people would also consider him one of the top 4 rappers of all time.
No. We ain't gonna do that. Must be the money. Is that what his song was? Don't do that, Deion. Don't do that. No.
Okay, I'm joking. Bruce Smith.
Yes.
And Eric Dickerson.
Yes.
Now, there's no mention of Tom Brady.
Right.
There's no mention of Joe Montana.
I know.
Jim Brown. Jerry Rice. Lawrence Taylor, Walter Payton.
Ooh.
None of them are mentioned at all.
Right.
Why is that? Number 1, why not Tom Brady in that list?
Okay. I look at sports generally through the lens of a track and field perspective, because it's the first sport ever. The first thing happened with Neanderthals and cavemen and us was go run. I beat you there. Because after they learned that they could run and catch some animals to eat, they were like, I race you. And then that's the first sport, track. It's the purest sport. There's a medal stand. First, second, third. And then there's been times I ran track growing up. There's been times I got 4th place by a photo finish. I'm not on the medal stand. I don't get rewarded like that. And I was that damn close. It's the same thing with this award for me. like the list for me, it's all these guys are that damn close, but I got to pick 4. So let me tell you why I picked those 4. Everybody know Barry Sanders probably the purest, best running back ever. Like, I don't care if he cut his career short or not. Like, what we saw was well enough to say he's the best running back ever, best, one of the top players ever. Mount Rushmore for me. Then you get into Deion. Deion was so captivating. Everything he did was like, okay, that's 6 points somehow, some way. Even when he was on defense, you're like, if they dare to throw the ball his way, he gonna pick it off and run it back. Like, it was just insane how great he was. Everything he did, his persona, everything. Now you get to Bruce Smith, and I think that's where the controversy starts for some people. They're like, Bruce Smith, first of all, he's the best defensive end ever. Mr. 200, as they call him, 200 sacks, most in NFL history. And people are like, well, Reggie White was better, or LT. Let me tell you this. Bruce Smith had, 13 double-digit sack seasons? And LT only played 13 years. So not only did Bruce Smith play longer, but he played at that level longer than a career of another great. Beyond that, he played in the 3-4 defense. Now, we getting a little into the minutia, so I know people got lost. Like, LT changed the position. Yeah, but Bruce Smith did the damnedest, the best at that position. He played in a run-stopping defense and got the most pass sacks ever. Like, hello. Like, it makes no sense. So I get where people want to take that one and attack it, but if you know your football, you kind of got to back off that one. And last but not least is Eric Dickerson for me. I will admit this is a little bit of the heart trying to talk, but I put it back. I was like, nah, because I was a tall running back growing up and I wanted to be like Eric Dickerson on the football field. But ED, woo, first year, 1,800 as a rookie. And then people are like, oh, all right, well, we on to him. We're going to study him this offseason. We're going to play him second year. Oh, he just sets the record, NFL rushing record. That's still standing, like, insane. Like, yeah, that guy. So, like, for me, I get where you can attack a Bruce Smith if you don't know the game fully, or you can attack Eric Dickerson and say, put Tom Brady. But for me, Tom Brady, it's going to sound like a shot, but there is an integration between how great he is and how great his coach and his culture is that I'm not ready to isolate him from that and say no matter what, he would have been on my Mount Rushmore. Jerry Rice, that one, that's when you start to try to make another head on Mount Rushmore, like try to carve out more mountain. Like, we got to put Jerry Rice up there. And it's no shot at Jerry except probably because I'm a defensive player. But Jerry Rice easily could supplant some guys on that list, and I would have no problem about it, except for my list, which is not me giving them an award necessarily. I would have to go with those other guys because that level of production, playing defensive end and getting 200 sacks, I just got to leave that where it is.